Forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that crushed it. That was presented to me by Wayne Dyer, and I thought that that statement was fantastic. It really explains forgiveness, doesn't it? And I have run that past lots of people, and if they don't already know that statement, they're like, ooh, I like that a lot. So forgiving someone that we perceive hurt us in some way, or a set of circumstances are injurious to us as our perception, or irritating us in some way. The person that cuts us off, in a simple minor example. The boss that treats us harshly. Or if you're younger in school and there's some getting picked on or bullying, whatever it might be. And of course we can extrapolate into much more serious circumstances. I think forgiveness is so important. And I've been working on this in my own life for years. Forgiveness is hard. It might be easier for some people, but I found it hard. It's hard, but extremely important. And it will release tension and pressure in your body like nothing else you've ever experienced. Total, absolute forgiveness to anyone that you've perceived that has ever hurt you. That's what I think you need to really, really work on. Let me give you a couple of examples. Now, people come into my office and they're all stressed. Now, stress, of course, is a perception of people and circumstances that came at you, and then now you say, you examine that circumstance or that person and says, I am now stressed. I am angry, sad, frustrated, depressed about that situation. Okay? Remember, it's just perception. Okay? Circumstances cannot stress you. A person cannot stress you without your consent. It's your interpretation of that, you see? So that's what we need to work on, and I work on it every day, and I'm not perfect at it. I'm going to continue working on it, but I've been working on it for 30 years. And it's hard, but it's extremely important, and it will allow release of pressure, stress, and depression and anxiety in you, and boy, you'll just come to the next level of love in your life, that next level of success and fulfillment and satisfaction when you do that. As Diane Cerencioni taught me, she now calls it, I send love and forgiveness to my tough teachers every day. Tough teachers. A different way of thinking of the experiences that we've had, the person that has wronged us and harmed us and hurt us and came down on us and did bad things to us in our perception. Maybe they were tough teachers. Maybe we need to peel away the lesson we're supposed to get from that, right? Hard, very hard. I feel for all of you that have gone through those situations. Many of you have had situations way worse than mine. But I think about my life, and I think about when I was younger and I had an older brother that was difficult, okay, and dropped out of school and ran away and probably was likely a cause of my parents splitting up when I was younger. And so I had to give forgiveness there. Now, for years I thought I did, but until I really sat back and I said, this is going to be total, complete forgiveness, and I send him love. I'm like, that's so much better. And then I think about the time when I was in high school and college, where I had a boss when I was doing some construction. There was some pay that was withheld, and I wasn't paid, and I just wasn't paid. Okay? I had no repercussion. I had no way to force that pay to come with me. And of course, at that time, I was sad and upset and frustrated about that. I just sent love and forgiveness now. It was just a lesson to learn. Sometimes the lesson that you learn from these tough teachers is that that's how you don't treat people if you want to send more love and peace in your life throughout your life, right? Maybe that's the lesson. Don't do that. As opposed to, there are other great people in your life that are role models that said, please do that, or the way that you treat that person over here was fantastic, or that nice thing you did over here for the coworker was amazing, or the teacher does something extra for the student, or one student does something else for the other student and wasn't asked to do so. Whatever it was, these beautiful little things and sometimes big things, then you can pull from that, but sometimes those tough teachers are teaching us something else. Then I think about the time after I graduated college and my chiropractic education ended, and of course I'm in debt like anybody leaving college, right? And so I'm worth negative money, which doesn't matter. And I'm starting my career, and then my father gets sick. And so he was a chronic smoker and got lung cancer, no shock there. And then he died when he was 58. Now, I don't know how he did it, but because he didn't have any money, but he was able to save $75,000. So there were three sons, and so he divided up into $25,000. I'm like, well, after that sad event, Dad had $25,000 for us. And of course, that's big money back then, right? So I was appreciative of that. And then I entered a new business scenario. And again, I'm in my early 20s now, my early 20s. I didn't know anything. I just know a little bit more than nothing at this point, right? So I entered this business situation with some other people, and I had to put in $25,000, okay? Did you already figure out where this is going? Right. So that business fell apart, and guess what? I lost my full $25,000, okay? And at the time, it was somewhat frustrating and angry and a little bit, and I started to assess my feelings at that point, and that's close to 25, 28, 30 years ago now. And I'm thinking, we could strike out and be angry, and I had every reason to fight back and do this kind of stuff, and I realized I can't do anything about it. It was a $25,000 lesson. It was a postgraduate education of $25,000. It just wasn't a formal class. So now I sent full forgiveness and love to those people. And now I'm completely off the hook. That's on them. It's not on me. And all the perceived stress or pressure or whatever is now gone. And of course, you can always pull yourself out of that. It's only money, who cares, right? So then I realized I'm passing along these messages to you about that forgiveness. You can take scenarios that are way worse than I just described, and there are other things that have happened in my life that were more intense than that I'm not sharing with you at this moment in time. But I'm offering you that opportunity to forgive someone. I remember someone in my office right now, a woman had come in and said that there's a split in the family and the ex-husband is doing this and there's a lot of nasty stuff going on, right? And unfortunately, that's pretty common. And I said, how about this? I said, how about sending him love and forgiveness? And she was like, what? Wow, I can't do that. I can't do that. I said, the sooner you do, the better you feel. And that's really true, right? It's kind of like that saying, and Tony Robbins said this once. We'll have a circumstance that happens and someone will say, sometime in the future, we'll laugh about this. And he said, why wait? Right? So in this case here, if somebody's really in this intense situation, and if you need to send love and forgiveness right now, why wait? Try it out. I think it will help you. I'm Dr. Scott Fuller.